Well, thank you for coming, everybody, and welcome. We're going to do some Franklin trivia. Going to really put your thinking caps on. Now, some of these are going to be so easy, you're going to say, oh, come on, really? Some of them are going to be hard, and you're going to say, oh, come on, really? But we'll have some fun. So let's begin. Anybody know the name of the blacksmith shop and where that was located?
Alpine Place.
Alpine Place. And the family name was George Sims. And then in the 1940s, the Armstrong family took it over. And then in the 60s, Alfio Chidetti, actually in the 50s, Alfio Chidetti took it over and rebuilt it, I believe, and put a new building up. And then in later years, Jimmy Crandall owns it. I think he owns it to this day, actually. Yeah. Sully the barber. Yep. One thing I always remember about that, if you sat in his chair and you look straight ahead, there was a mirror behind you, you had the Hall of Mirrors effect. Anybody that sat in that chair remembers that. Oh, yeah, I remember that, yeah. Who's that priest? Father Scanlon, yep. Daniel Scanlon, yep. Yeah, we remember it as the Masonic Hall, Masonic Temple, but what was it built as originally? The YMCA, that's right. Yeah. In fact, you look at this building and you say to yourself, what architect designed that building? Look at it. I mean, it's all kinds of shapes and sizes and everything. But what happened was in 1910, what they were doing is they did a fundraising. They wanted to build a YMCA. So the guy that owned the property, it used to be a big house on the corner of Dean Avenue. Actually, it was Harry Haywood. He donated his barn for the YMCA. So that was the beginning of it. So that barn was there. Then they added on to the back of it. So that's why it's like that. Yeah. We got some people that say, yeah, we know. Come on, Joe, really? But some people are struggling with it. This is 1928, by the way. Let's put it this way. Her brother was also a teacher. Alice Bean. That's right, 1928. Now, what famous person was born in this house? Horace Mann, that's right. Yep. Anybody know who that guy is? No? No? What was that? Theron Metcalf. That's right. Yeah. All right, who's the bride and groom? You're going to love this one. This is 1936, 1937. I know it. I know Rose. He was a famous doctor in town. Dr. Walter Crowley. Yep. Yep. Mrs. Crowley. No, what was it? I'm not sure. Where's this intersection? This is a famous intersection in town. Nope. Four Corners. This is looking towards Rentham. Chestnut Street's on the left, King Street's on the right. Yeah. That's right, yeah. This is 1935. 1935, yeah. Yeah. Where was that picture taken? Depot Street. Yeah. And you see this guy, the guy looking towards the camera, I'm guaranteed that's my Uncle Fred. Yeah, know for a fact. Now, who's this guy right here? In his younger days, obviously. He worked for that Woonsocket Call office. Dutchy Gilbert. Yeah. Yeah. And it says rooms to let. The 140, that building was like a little mini hotel, like a rooming house. There was rooms to let there. It went by different names. Went by the Central House, New Central House, the American House, the Lincoln Hotel, all kinds of names over the years. Yeah. And then they had the 140 Club there, and of course we remember the Skis Lounge and the train stop. They were all in there. Yeah. And you can see the building down further down. That's the Gilmore grain place. So, yeah. Where was that taken? Huh? Yeah, Lorraine Metcalf's house. That's right. This is standing on 140, looking toward Lorraine Metcalf's house, and probably A&P's right behind you. Yep, that's right. Remember that church? Not Federated, no. Universalist. Right next to Dean. Yep. Yep. That was the, let's see, that was the third church that the Universalists built. Because the one that preceded that burnt down in 1886, and then this one was built, and then they tore it down in 67 when Dean bought it, and they built their library there. No, not Charlie Guerra's. No. I'll give you a little clue. See, remember Mazzone the Tailor? Mazzone the Tailor's building is right there. So this garage went by different names. Gazzola and Boyle, I think, was one. Young's. Yeah. So, yeah. You're wondering why the policeman is there? This is 1942. They had a gas crisis, and the lines were forming, just like we remember from the 70s. There was a cop at every gas station, over at Atlantic Station, Brown Service Station. There's a cop at every one of them. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That's one thing about the chief of police at the time was Joe Cataldo. He had like a corps of men and everything walk through town. And they'd march right through the center of town. It was quite a thing. Yeah. But that's right on the bridge. That's the, we call that the Exchange Building. A guy named George Peck had a grocery store called Peck on the Square. And that's what that was. Where's this? 140, that's right. Yep, that's right. Caravan was right next door. That farm went up to auction in 1940. That's what this is all about. They had a big auction because a lot of things were going for auction. The Haywood Mansion went up for auction. The Franklin Mill store, it was Haywood Mills at the time. That went up for auction. Yeah, tough times back then. That's right, the Riberos. That's right. Yep. Okay, where was this factory? Nope, but you're close. It's on Fisher Street. Yeah, that's right. Who owned it at the time? This is about 1946. Nope, not American Felt. Nope, Clark Cutler was up near the corner of Fisher Street and West Central. This is down almost close to where the town barn is. Yeah, they're putting up a chimney in there, yeah. Doyle Carpet, that's right, yeah. Benny's Oil? No, Doyle Carpet. Oh, Benny Doyle. Oh, you're right. Yeah, Benny Doyle. Correct. Yeah. Now, why are they moving this house? That's right, 1950. And that's the Stolbert's nursery that was there at the time. That house is still there on King Street. Beautiful, too. It looks nice. Your grandmother's house? Yeah. Oh, no kidding. Huh. Right on East Central Street. Yeah, 1950. Huh. How do you like that? Wow. Who's this guy? Guy Vozella. Standing right in front of the Venice Cafe. Yep. Where was this? That's right. That's the alley right by you can see a very rare glimpse of the rear of the diner right there. Right. This is about 1942. There was a small cellar fire in the Dana building, but that was it. Yeah. Who was this barber? John Monterati. That's right. Yeah, I don't know who that is. Do we know who that is? What is it? Oh, no, okay. Huh. Okay. John Monterati. Monterati? Yeah, Monterati. Yeah. Yeah. John the Barber, right. Yep, that's right. Speaking of barbers, and he was an accomplished banjo player from what I understand, too. Yeah, Nick Sosi, yeah. Yeah. Well, I don't know. Hey, Rose, who's those people getting a haircut? Yeah, anybody recognize the guy?
It's my dad.
That's Rose Turco's father.
His grandson, Michael.
Mike, how do you like that, huh?
Michael.
Yeah. Yeah, Nick Sosi used to live right on Ray Street, right around the corner from me. Yeah. Right, Rich? Remember him? Yeah, that's right, you too. You were closer to him than me. Yeah, it wasn't everybody's though. This woman was a longtime teacher in Franklin. Alice Wiggin, that's right. Yeah. Yeah. What school was this? From 1942. Nope. Arlington Street School. Yeah. Yeah, they had a fire in the building a few years earlier, but it was just minor damage. But this one totally did them in. Yeah. Yeah. And this guy had a school named for him in 1900. Nope. No, but he was a Thayer. No. Nope. Nope. His name was William Makepeace Thayer. And Franklin had their first high school. It was across the street from the Ray School. We remember the Ray School. It was called the Thayer School. And they named it for him in 1900. So, yep. And these are not the Smith brothers. Send for the Smith brothers. Although, boy, they look like them, though, huh? Anybody want to guess? The Ray brothers. Oops, Francis Ray, James Ray, and Joseph Ray. Joseph Ray was the father of Lydia Ray Pierce and Annie Ray Thayer. And the library was named in his honor, and the mother, too. So, yeah. Remember that guy? Freeman Brady Knowlton. Yeah, Brady Knowlton, yeah. Really? Yeah. Now, wasn't there something about he would call all the girls, what was it? Susie Snickle something, what? He had some kind of a nickname for all the girls. I forget the name of it, yeah. Well, I think we've already established who that guy is in the middle. We just talked about him a minute ago. Dutchy Gilbert, yep. Now, the policeman to the right was the chief of police. Actually, he's the one that took over from when Brady Knowlton died. His name was Walter Burke. And then in 1942, Joe Cataldo took over. Yep. That's this is taken over by the town hall then, today's museum. But that's the Horseman School is over here to the right, so that's Emmons Street right there. And that big building on the left is the Whiting Mansion that they tore down for a parking lot. And then the Chapman House is still there. Yeah. There's Joe Cataldo. Yeah. We'll start with the guy on the left. He was a doctor. He lived in my house from 18... Huh?
Yes, Dr. Hussey.
Nope.
Dr. Field.
Nope. Nope. His last name began with an A. Dr. Abbott. Solon Abbott. He bought my house in 1895. He was only the second owner of my house. Then my parents bought it in 1949. But the guy on the right, He's still got there's a business today that still bears his name, Thomas F. Keefe. Yeah. You know, Tom Keefe started as the manager of the Modern Laundry down the end of Depot Street. And then in the early 1900s, he went to school to become an undertaker, as they used to call it, funeral director. And then he established a Keefe funeral home on Cottage Street. And then eventually, that was bought out. Then he turned it over to a guy named Mulvaney. Yeah. And then it stayed Keefe funeral home until Fred Pizzini took it over. And for a time it was Pizzini Folsom, and then Charlie O'Terry took it over. But then Tom Keefe went into insurance, and we know the rest of that story. The two Freds. That's right, yeah. This is about 1967. This is from my home movies. Yeah. Yeah, the dentists were very grateful for this guy. Yep, all the candy we bought from his store. Oh, yeah. That's Jimmy. That's Jimmy. Yeah. I got the cavities to prove it.
I'm still getting dental.
I mean, duh. That's a good picture of him, though. The jacket, his daughter, I was talking to her on Facebook. She saw that jacket. She goes, oh, my God. This was at the 1978 parade. They had a big thing at the country club the morning for breakfast, and he was there for that. I guess he was like a chairman or something, or in a committee or something. But, yeah. Oh, same day. Connor Pond, yeah. And you can barely see the guy coming up in the background. Charlie McNally, yeah. Where's Danny? Where's Danny? Henry Fico. George Wood, yeah. George Woods Jr. That's Victor. Now, in 1946, around that, he graduated from high school, and he started to go to work at the Tip Top Shoe Hospital. It was on where the Rome restaurant is today.
Graduated with me.
Oh, okay, yeah. This guy named Ernest Bonifazi had this little shoe store there, Tip Top Shoe Hospital. And then in 1950, Victor bought the business from him. But no sooner did that happen, Victor went to the Korean War, so he told me his brother took over the store until he got back. And Victor's been there the rest of the time. Then he moved over to the Metcalf block, and there he is today. Still there, still sharp as a tack. I love going in and talking to him. Great guy. What was it? John Locke, yeah. I guess he was quite a photographer, I think somebody was saying. Yeah. Well, still was Stanley Chilson. Leo DeRocha. Leo DeRocha, yeah. Did he live in the garage building in the back with the yeah? Yeah. Oh, she wasn't here today. I guess she's not here. Yeah. Yep. Dan Croster. Yep. Well, I say Debbie Pellegri. Yeah. Yeah, he just died about a year or two ago. Yeah. Okay, bonus point. Who's the little kid?
You.
No. We're close, though. No. His last name begins with a T. That's right. Mark Tavalone. Yeah. For real good bonus points, I don't know who the ladies are. Does anybody know? Rose? No? No? Yeah, I can't really tell. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah. There he is. Chuck DeWitt. They used to have, apparently, they had some sales in the back of the store, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that's Donna, his daughter, right over there. Yeah, Mike Connie, that's right. Yeah. Billy Bissoni, yeah. Boy, he had one heck of a slap shot. Let me tell you, I played goalie for pickup hockey with him. Man, this kid had a slap shot. Woo!
Very strong.
Oh my God. Yeah. Yeah. That's Benny, yeah. I guarantee you these guys are well dressed because of the guy in the middle. Ronnie Palumbo. Yeah. Who's the guy in the far left? Al Fico. Yeah. And who's the little girl? You got it. Yeah. Uh-oh. I think my classmates know who these people are. little more hair then, though. Huh? Well, you're close. Ned Keefe. This is his son. Yep, that's right. And funny, you could just see Walter Jackson in behind him. Who would have thunk it, huh? And then you can see a guy in the back there, although we probably will see a picture of him. That's Dick Esterly. Yeah, well, I think I got him in here. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Love the outfit, too, huh? Yeah, was he, do we know who that guy is in the back? Okay, yeah. That's Benny Gillinato, yeah. John Cataldo, yeah. Yeah. All the Stanley Chilson films, they show he stands there where the elections are being held. Every time he's right there, pressing the flesh. Oh, yeah. Yeah. This was taken on the High Street. They had a big little carnival there. They even had a Ferris wheel. They blocked off High Street. They had a Ferris wheel right there, and it was at the home of this couple. They sponsored it. Harry Gebb, yeah. Mr. and Mrs. Gebb. Yeah. There she is. There she is. Louis Cataldo, yeah. Louis Cataldo, yeah. He bought his business from Mr. Burns. Was it Jake? I forget his first name, but his last name is Burns. Down on the and that's who he bought the business from. Was a guy named Burns. Burns Clothing. Forget his name. What? Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, I don't think they're related. I don't think. Yeah, probably not. Yeah. Benjamin Thomas. Yep. Yep. We didn't get many snow days with him in the charge. I think it's from Maine, I think, and he said, "Oh, I went to school, so you guys going to school." There he is. Archie Gilbert. Yeah. That's my father. I couldn't believe when I saw the Chilson film, and there's my father. You got to be kidding me. Because he died when I was 13, so to see something like this was like, wow. And this is a still picture. He walked by the camera. He was kind of hamming it up for Chilson. So to see that, you got to be kidding me. And his uniform, no less. So, wow, that was just like, wow. Yeah. This was in the Badger's DeRico pastry shop. Emma Ristino, yeah.
Married into the Cottage Street, East
Oh, okay, yeah. Not the Washington Street recital. Okay, now there's a woman that's being helped out, and she was the widow of a well-known person at Dean. And her father was, she had a sister, and her father's name was Joseph Ray. Joseph Gordon Ray. So that would be Lydia Ray Peirce. She died about a month after this picture was taken. She died in December of 1936. And that's what she wanted to go vote, though. And she was on her horse and buggy. Every day she'd go out on that horse and buggy, even in the 30s. Yeah. But they're helping her in so she can go in and vote. Yeah. Alpine Street. But it was renamed. In 1931, they renamed it. And this is a picture looking down Alpine Street. What is it today? Hillside Road.
Is that before, would that have been all one road before the railroad tracks?
You know, that's a good question. Because Alpine Street, Alpine Row, Alpine Place, that's a good question. Because the tracks were there until, the tracks went down in 1840, 1850. So,
Oh, this is 1930.
yeah. But whether or not there was a bridge connecting, that's a good question. I've been wondering that myself. But in 1931, they named it.
It's like a straight shot.
Oh, yeah.
Railroad tracks.
Yeah, I mean, it could very well have been, yeah. Yeah. The Central House, that burnt down in 1886. And then in 1890, no, in 1900 and 1901, they started construction of a new building there. And it's still there to this day. It's been added on to a few times. The Ray Memorial Library. Yep, yep, there was a big hotel there. Yeah. That 1886 fire was huge. That burnt down the Universalist Church that was there, burnt down this building, Daniels Hall, which was next door. It was like a huge fire in that area. Awful.
Fires in those days.
Oh, yeah, yeah. A lot of churches and fires. Oh, unbelievable. Okay, now who's this guy? What was that one? No, not Parmenter. No. Davis Thayer. That was Davis Thayer. Yeah. Davis Thayer Sr. Now this building, this one, you're probably not going to, you might guess, they tore it down about 1949 or so. This is before they built a little gas station on the front lawn. This is on the corner of Summer Street and East Central Street over there. They built a little gas station in front. There was a Morse garage, then became Brownie's garage, Ray Brown's garage. But that was called the Hawthorne. That was the home of Aaron Hotwell Morse. And then they built a gas station in front of it, and now there's the mobile station, or whatever gas station it is today. So, yeah. Now, what building is at the site of this hotel? This is the Davis Thayer home, and it turned it into the Franklin Hotel in later years. In 1924, they tore it down and built the Davis Thayer High School, corner of Union Street and West Central Street. Although it was Central Street in those days, it was only until 1913 Central Street became East Central Street and West Central Street. That was the same year they renumbered a lot of numbers in town. My house on Dean Avenue used to be 249 Dean Avenue, but in 1913 they renumbered them all, so that my number now became 30 Dean Avenue. And the way they determined that, Dean Chilson came up with a map. And what he did is, like, if you look at the line, he put these little dash marks on the street, on the map, like 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. And those lines represented 20 feet. So as you went down the street on the map, if your front door matched up with the number 30, that was your number. So 30 Dean Avenue for my house, 40 Dean Avenue for your house, Richie, and so on. Yeah. Where was this taken? Almost in the same place we saw one previously. There's a little building there with 3 arches that kind of might give you a little bit of a clue. But this is West Central Street looking from the bridge. And Lorraine Metcalf's house is just behind those trees. Ah, Cottage Street. Who was the cobbler that was there? Mr. Falcon. Now, it was D'Amico Falcon or Falcon D'Amico? Falcon D'Amico. I mean, a lot of times you see he's advertised as D. Falcon. Well, wait a minute. So that was his own advertisement. So finally, I went on find it.
He came from originally?
Where?
Canonsburg, Pennsylvania.
Really?
His family knew the Como family. They lived right near each other.
Oh, no kidding.
Canonsburg, Pennsylvania.
Huh.
Falcon.
Wow.
Told us that.
Wow. So yeah, I went on find a grave and I saw his grave. It's D'Amico. So it's Falcon D'Amico. Yeah. Okay, who's that square named for? Yeah. Lawrence Clark. You know, he died about 2 days before the end of World War I. A couple of days before near the end of the war. Wow. Unbelievable. Where was this place? East Central Street. Right in front of Lewis Street. Yeah. A guy named Fitzpatrick built it in 1925 or so. But then eventually a guy named Miller bought it. Anybody know who the Miller guy was? Nope, not Ken, but you're close. Hockey. Now, Leslie Hockey Miller. Now, Hockey, was that a name or what? No, a nickname. Okay, so like you're hockey playing. Hockey Miller, okay. Yeah. So, Woody Abbott. You know, in 1928, the Morse Opera House fire happened, right? He was a little kid and he was in there when the fire started. But they get everybody out. But he was watching a show, as a lot of other kids, and he was in there. Yeah. I think we all remember that dealership. Supples, yeah. You can see the 1954 Oldsmobiles in the front. I used to have a 54 Olds, so I know my 54 Oldsmobiles. Yeah. And then, see that garage down the bottom of the hill? In later years, Joe Lazzarini took it over and had Mr. Joseph's catering. Yeah. Yeah, after he sold the diner, yeah. Oh, this is a tough one. Nope. Nope. Nope, it's right up the street from you, though. No, it's in Franklin. I know, yeah. South Franklin, yep. That's Spring Street. That's Spring Street. The railroad used to stop right here. The railroad tracks are right there. If you go down the bike path and you come to Spring Street, that wall is actually still there. But Susan Root Hen lives there now. And but that's where the Wadsworth family had that little store there, the post office. So that section of town was called Wadsworth. And they made a fortune in there, I'll tell you. But yeah. There he is. John Rizzoli, yeah. Yeah, we lived up on Hillside Road, yeah. I couldn't believe when I got this picture, because I never knew what he looked like. Stanley Chilson. Wow, a picture of Stanley Chilson. Huh. My hero, let me tell you. Wow. Ah, what church is this? Remember I was telling you that the Universalist church next to Dean burnt down, right? That's the church that burnt down. Yeah.
That was in the same spot?
Same spot, same footprint, yep. Yeah, I know it, huh? And then that factory was where the funeral home is, Ginley Funeral Home. There was a factory there.
No kidding.
Yeah.
The factory, Joe.
Textile mill, straws, yeah. Now, the Universalists used to have a small church, kind of in front of this one, right? But what they did, they said, you know, we get this nice new Dean College. We need a bigger church, so they built this one. When they were done with this one, they turned that smaller church over to the Baptist. They moved the church down School Street, next to the Thayer School, and it became the Baptist Church.
Right next to my house.
Yeah, yeah. And now this is in 1874. They moved that church down the street. Of course, they never worry about telephone wires, so I guess that's okay. But yeah, and of course in '38 the hurricane blew over the steeple, and
Is that where the Jehovah Witness was, or is that
very close to it.
right next door?
Yeah, right next to it. Yeah. But yeah, so they built that. Then that burnt down in 1886, along with the central house and Daniel's block, and then they built the church that we remember until that was torn down. Yeah. But when I saw that, it's a beautiful picture of that church. Yeah. There he is, Joe Lazzarini. I'll tell you, that working for him in high school, because my marks kind of showed it, but working for him was a thrill. It was a lot of fun being there. I mean, he'd kick his feet off the ceiling, he'd spoons off the ceiling, plates behind the back and everything. He put on a show, let me tell you. It was great. Yeah, he was the best. Union Cafe, yeah. When Charles Acaro had a little stand there, yeah. Today it's the Acapulco, I think, yeah. Yeah. Ooh, Al, you know where that place was. Right across the street from Al's house, Green's Pond. Yep. Yeah. But we called it Green's Pond, but what was the real name of that pond? Spring Pond. And Greasy's Pond, that wasn't Greasy's Pond, what was that? Spruce Pond. Right, yep.
I remember the towers. 53, the towers came down hurricane.
Oh, did it? Oh, the tornado we had? Yeah.
3 hurricane.
Oh, the hurricane? Yeah. Wow. Wowee. Stella Gian. And who was her father? Jimmy the Greek, yeah. That's right. How many times we went up and down those stairs? Newberries. Yeah. Used to buy record albums. It was like maybe they were $2.99 for mono, $3.99 for stereo. You had a choice. You could get mono or stereo. Yeah. Or candy. You could buy it by the pound. I used to go in on a Saturday night when my mother was going to go somewhere. I'd buy a pound of candy. I'd eat the whole thing. They'd put it on the little scale in the white bag, and they'd put the candy in. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think they paid your phone bill in the back. Yeah. Horace Man, yeah. Oh, the Haywood Mansion. Yeah. Lasted about 7 years. And then tore it down. Unbelievable. Jeez. Beautiful place. I mean, what's not to like? Oliver Dean, Dr. Oliver Dean. Yep, he's the one who started Dean College, Dean Academy, as they called it back then. High Street, yep. You can see the first Haywood Mansion over there where it was, and then the Congregational Church. When the 38 hurricane toppled over the steeple in the Baptist church, they said, "Oh no, we got no home now, but we got a minister." Well, the Congregational said, "Well, we've got a home but no minister, so let's meet up," and they joined forces. And in 1941, it became the Franklin Federated Church. Yep. I was just in there about a month ago. They had an interfaith, little interfaith thing, and I was in the choir with them. What a beautiful church that is! Wow, beautiful. Ah. Yep. Yeah, that was a house built. They built a house around the house. They built balloon construction. The house was originally the same as the Ray house next to it, but when Lydia got married to Arthur Purse, they went to Europe and they said, "Wow, we love the buildings over here. Let's recreate it when we get back home." So they literally built walls all around the building, and balloon construction. But unfortunately, it led to its demise when it burned down because the fire just went whoosh right through that open space. So they couldn't save it. So, yeah. And then talk about fires, talk about, Elena, you know that. That was the Thayer House on the corner of West Central Street and West Street. That was another one. Yeah. Ah. Now, technically, this is not Franklin. This is Norfolk, but it's so close to Franklin, I figured I would throw it in. For the longest time, I kept looking at this picture, looking at it, I'm saying, where the heck is that? And then Bob Catalano came to the rescue. He says, oh, I know where that is, Ambrose. And it's down City Mills, right? If you keep going a little bit further, you kind of go around the corner where the water is. Well, I'm not really, I don't know. I don't think so. I'm not really sure, but you can. It's just when it starts making the turn. Yeah, the one. Yeah, I think the ones on the right are still there. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of cool. Charlie Hooper. Now you might not know this, but that two-thirds of that building is gone. We still got the bottom third. They apparently decided to chop off the two top stories. But the building that's there is the original building. It was built in 1913. A guy named James Chilson had a wooden structure there before. He built it around 1870. But around 1912, they said, you know, I'm going to redo this building over, the wooden building. And what they were going to do is they were going to cover it with stucco cement, kind of like they did on the YMCA building. And they were just about ready to start. And he changed, the heck with it, I'm just going to change my mind. Let's just tear it down and let's build a new building. And that building is the result. They did that because they wanted to put the post office in there. The post office used to be in the Ray block across the street. So that's where the post office was until 1934, 1935, when they built the new post office. Then Davis department store moved in because the Davis family bought the block, and then Charlie Hooper took it over. Anybody know what E&W stands for? It was apparently there was a cleaners down the street. E&W stood for Erlitzson and Woodworth. Let's see, Charles Erlitzson and Guy Woodworth. There we go. Yeah, okay. I remember when we were going to St. Mary's School, the boys decided to go get a little mischievous, so we all went in there. We started going around and around and around, and the nuns caught us. That's a recent picture, though. How many of us took swimming lessons there, huh? Yeah. That was built in 1935, WPA money. Yeah. Who knows this person? Carmeletta Healy. Yep. Carmi Healy, yep. Yep. Yeah. That's his mother, yeah. Mike gave me these pictures, yeah. That's his mother, yeah. Now, the diner was named called by three different names. Charlie Lawrence bought it, it was put there, the first diner was put there in 1898 by a guy named, Fairfield. Then he sold it to Charlie Lawrence, and in 1906, he put a new diner in that place. And then in 1926, he bought a new diner from the Worcester Lunch Card Company, and that's what that is. That was put there in 1926. This is 1940, so.
Lawrence's Bakery used to be in the back there.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
That was the bakery.
No kidding. Wow. Yeah, because when in 1938, Charlie Lawrence sold the diner and that bakery to a couple of guys, B&B.
B&B diner.
That's right. Who were the B&B? Buzzer and Bozo. Buzzer Mason and Bozo Fleming. Yeah. And then they bought the bakery too. But about a year or so later, they said, let's just concentrate on the diner. So they sold the bakery, but they kept the diner until Joe Lazzarini eventually bought it. And then in the 60s, he renamed it the Main Street Diner. And in the back, Herb Stewart, yeah. For over 70 years, played taps in the parade. Unbelievable. And he walked that route until later years. He said, I got to ride. But yeah. Not much has changed here. The buildings are pretty much the same. Of course, the road is gravel now. That's Union Street. If you're standing in front of the rectory looking toward, like the Commons on the left, those houses are pretty much the same as they always were. Yeah. Union Street. Yep, Union Street.
Opposite the Commons, is that what you said?
Yeah, the Commons right there. This is like standing in front of the rectory, looking like Beaver Street's on your right. Yeah. This was the poorhouse until it was taken over. It was auctioned off in the 50s. Yep. It became the Hillcrest Convalescent Home. Yep. And today, I guess it's apartments now or something. Yeah. Yeah. Still looks the same though. Looks pretty good.
Used to have victory gardens going along too, in the back.
Right. Yeah.
Get a castle.
In fact, yeah, when they auctioned the thing off in the 50s, they auctioned off tractors and different other things, and people put in bids. And then they had a thing in the paper that said, okay, so-and-so won the auction for the tractor, and this is what he paid, and this and that. Yeah, it was quite something, yeah. Now, I never saw this building, but I've heard about it, and I know kind of where it was. I know it. This is down off of Fisher Street. It was the pumping station. Yeah.
Is that the chimney with the tree growing out of it?
No, that's well, the mill store.
That's not the same one?
I don't think so. But you know, it's funny. When my uncle was alive, we were going along, and he pointed to that chimney. My grandfather apparently did repairs to the top of that chimney, so it's held up pretty well. Who was it, Rose?
May was this.
Yeah,
May Lennon. She was the principal.
May Lennon. Huh?
This man's
Well, I thought it was somebody else. So that's May Lennon. Well, I got to fix that. I got to make a note of that. May Lennon. Okay. Oh, I love this picture. When I got this one, I said, "Wow, I love this." Depot Street. That's right. Yeah. In fact, this is my house right here. Yeah. This building right here is it's called the Black Mob Building. That's where that modern laundry was, where Tom Keefe started his business. And then there's James Ray built that building, and then eventually the Gilmores took it over. And then the Sentinel Building is down there. This is the Sentinel Building. That's where the trading post was and all that, and so on. So yeah. And of course, behind the tree was where the hotel was and where the train stop was. Anybody know where that was? That was right next door to the Davis Thayer High School. That was Davis Thayer Jr.'s house. And that burnt down around 1920 or so. Okay. Big Butch. What was his name? His name was Joe. It began with a V.
Yeah.
Vivoda. Joseph Vivoda. Yep. And his sister was named Blanche Shirkus.
Yes.
Yeah, down on 88 Alpine Street, Alpine Place. That's why we used to see him walking down the tracks a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in Boston.
And in Boston, yeah.
Was that a radio?
Oh yeah, yeah. And that's right. The Bataan Death March, yeah. That's right. At any given time you could see him walking downtown. He was either dressed with a Hawaiian shirt and Bermuda shorts, sunglasses, or a black suit with a black tie, a fedora, and sunglasses. He looked like the Blues Brothers. And be walking along. Yeah. Oh, did he? Yeah.
Once he was in the Boston Globe
Really?
for taking the train into Boston.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. He used to come in the diner, and he goes, "I'll have 2 chisel burgers," and And I love Big Butch. He didn't have any teeth, so he'd gum the cheeseburger. But nice man. He really was a nice man. Yeah.
We threw a snowball at him because we delivered the call.
Ooh.
We thought he was gonna,
Oh yeah. Wow. Anybody know where that is? Of course, some people got a sneak preview. That's where the convent is. Yep. You can see the church over there. So that's a clue. That was our playground. Ah, now where was this house? I'll give you a clue. The person's name was Milliken. Well, he was probably named after him, but this house was standing on the corner of School Street and Main Street. If you're standing on the front porch of the Ginley Funeral Home, you look across the street, you know that little parking lot? That's where that house was. Vera and Bud Ledberry owned that house for a while too. Yep. I think the School Street. I think this is looking at it from School Street. Main Street would be over this side here. Huh? Probably 60s or 70s. Yeah.
I'd say late 60s. I remember it.
Do you remember it?
When they tear that house down, the old Landry house.
Yeah, because you live right up the
My
street.
mother used to babysit for somebody that lived in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
That's right across from Ginley, where's the parking lot now, right?
Yeah,
across from Ginley Funeral.
I vaguely remember it. Yeah.
Higgins, yeah. Higgins lived there.
Oh, okay. Huh. Leap and Lena. Okay, take care, friend. Leap and Lena Morse. Morse. Oh, Mason. What am I saying? Mason. Yeah, she was Buzzer Mason's sister. Buzzer Mason. Yeah, Mason. Yeah. This was 1932. Eventually, the train stop was there. Yeah.
Where was this?
Right on Depot Street, right at the end of Depot Street. Yeah, the 140 Club was there, and then Ski took it over and became Ski's Lounge. Yeah. And look at this. That was a James F. Ray coal building, and what's right next door? The building we just saw. This is the end of Depot Street. That was the one I pointed out to in a minute ago, that long building. And you can see how the horse and carriage could drive right into the building, and they could load it up, and then off they go. Yeah. Okay, what street and what was the fire? Nope. Alpine Place. Alpine Place, yep, looking down to the railroad tracks. There was the American Felt had a building, a factory there, and a guy named Enoch Waite also had a factory there years ago. And here it is looking the day after, looking from the train side up to Alpine Place. Yeah, that was the day after, I believe. The day after, it was late 30s, I think it was. Yeah.
How many tracks were there?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Now this, if you look at some of the landmarks, this will give you a clue where this picture was taken from. The water tanks, yeah. There's another building that would really be a significant clue.
That looks like Bullock's property.
No, no. Franklin Lumberyard, yeah. Pretty close. That was called the Payne Foundry. Now, you can see the water tanks, but look at the building, the first building to the left. Anybody remember the castle? Today you can't see the castle because it's all grown in. But this is back before it got grown in. That's the castle.
The castle's still there.
Oh yeah, it is. But yeah, you can't see it anymore because of yeah. But so that'll give you an idea where this was, right behind the Thompson Press. The Dodge brothers. Yep. Who was the guy that owned that garage? Yeah, they actually built it in 1916. Donald B. Chapman. Yep. Don Duncan is the middle, yeah. Did you? Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, the Vargin brothers. Yeah.
Harry and Greg.
Yeah. Harry and Greg, yeah. Now, that building on the right should probably give you a clue where this was taken. We just saw it a few minutes ago. Yep. That's the building with the turntable. So this is on the grounds of the Haywood Mansion. They had a fire in one of the greenhouses. Yeah. Now, obviously, it's the F.H. Appleton Company, but where was this building? Anybody want? And what was it used for before that?
American
No.
Film.
Well, kinda, yeah.
At the plastic factory.
No. 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 It was built as the sugar beet factory. That's why you have Sugar Beet Street. When you go down, Sugar Beet Street is a dead end now, but it used to go up to Fisher Street, and then Fisher Street would continue on till you get to the railroad tracks, and this building was right by the railroad tracks. And up until, well, you can still kind of see the footprint of the building, and up until about 10 years ago, there was still some building there, but it's all gone now. I was walking down there a few years ago, but that's what that was. It was called the Appleton Company, but that was where the sugar beet factory was. Yeah. They named a street after this guy. Emmons Street, that's right. Yep, Nathaniel Emmons. He was the first, he was the third minister of the Congregational Church. Yep. Ah, is it? Nope. Nope, we just talked about Fisher Street. Well, that's what this is. This is just going over the tracks on Fisher Street. And a lot of this is all grown in too. But you can see the Franklin Mill store on the right. And today it's Franklin Landing, but back then it was Ray Woolen Mills over there on the left. This is the tracks going to Milford. I think that speaks for itself.
He's still in the zone in Milford.
Oh, is it?
He's a plumber or electrician.
Oh, okay. Ah, what church was this? And where was it located? That was the first Universalist church, and it became the Baptist church. So this is when it was in its School Street location.
That's the one where Patetti was? That burnt down? Yes. That was on Patetti's property?
Well, the steeple toppled over in the 38 hurricane,
And where was it located?
right on School Street. That's the one they moved down to near your house.
Yeah, that's the one you said was up top and they moved it down?
Right, yeah.
And it burned?
Well, they had a fire in it, I guess, in the 40s. They were using it as a VFW hall, I think. Yeah. And then in the late 40s, they tore it down. Yeah. And that's when the Jehovah's Witnesses built their building.
You remember that, Donnie?
Yeah. Now, for quite a while, I never knew where this picture was taken from. But then I was talking to a friend of mine who lived in that house where the arrow was pointing to. He said, "Hey, that was my old house." I said, "You're right." So that was Dale Street, looking up towards Summer Street. That's the Thayer house. Bill Thayer, B. Thayer's house, and Bob Thayer. So that's Dale Street looking up. You can see Cross Street up there. Huh, yeah. There it is. The coal elevator. You know, in about a week or two, there's going to be an exhibit over at the museum. Scott Mason has built a little diorama, and I've seen pictures of it. Oh my God, you got to see this. He made little miniature buildings of the railroad area, and they're going to be dedicating it. And if I can give a shameless plug, I'm going to be doing the first Sunday series in January. I want to reprise my railroad presentation, so little shameless plug there. So, but yeah, they're going to unveil that thing, and he did the coal elevator. Perfect. I mean, oh my God. And the piano factory building, he made a little picture of that. Beautiful. Anybody who wants to see him after, I'll show it to you on my phone, but beautiful. Anyway, that's the Gilmore coal yard there. I wonder where that is. That's walk out your front door and there's what you see. That's Winter Street.
They
Yeah.
just tore that house down, yeah, within the last year.
Oh, did they? Yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize until later, Clark Cutler apparently had a presence there. Yeah. Yeah. I didn't realize that. I thought Clark Cutler was limited to Fisher Street, but yeah.
Wasn't that a hat factory, a straw hat?
Well, it was Staples. Edward Staples built it as a straw factory around 1907. Yeah. Ah. Now this church burnt down in 1893. Apparently what happened was they were setting fireworks off at the Common, and one of the fireworks apparently lodged up in the roof and started a fire, and they burnt the church down, and what they did is they rebuilt it as the Congregational Church. This is where the Franklin Federated Church is today, because the Franklin Federated Church was built as a Congregational Church, and that's the building that preceded it. Now this church was the one that was built, and then when this was completed, the Catholics got the old church. The Franklin Bakery, where was that located? That was where the Rome restaurant is today. Yeah. Huh. Now that's the Morse garage, and you can see that building in the back on Summer Street that I said they built a garage right in front on the front lawn. There it is. Then Ray Brown tore it down and rebuilt it and put a new service station. But by then that house is gone. Ah,
It's down the crossing.
that's right. This place has got a land. Yeah, that's right. Jimmy D's. Yeah. That's got a Landry connection because that's where Landry Cycle began.
There's a Landry's. They had a bicycle place there. They used to have races.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now there's a Landry, they're still in the bicycle business in Framingham, now they're in,
Yeah.
Norwood.
That's right. That's
Is that the same Landry?
this is where it all began, right here. Yeah. My uncle started that, and my cousin. Yeah. Oh yeah.
That house is the one that Angela Carr moved to Get Street.
I'm pretty sure that's the.
Shop was right next to it.
Yeah, I remember Al Malloy had a garage. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. My father used to bring us in, and Al gave us haircuts. Yeah. Yeah. Keep going. Okay. Now, in 1938, Stanley Chilson went down and took movies of this bridge being built. On what street?
Just
Nope. Beach Street. Beach Street. Yeah. Okay, we talked about this one earlier. This is that's the first Congregational Church, and the Catholics took it over when they built that one, which burnt down.
go back to that bridge, we were on Beach Street, was that the one where there's a little river running under it?
Exactly. Yep. 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 Huh, how many remember this guy? Yep, Gigi Ranieri. Yeah. And yep. And if you look carefully, you can see the guy that owned the place right in the middle of the picture.
Pete D'Amelio on
Oh, Pete D'Amelio? Right next to him on the left was the guy that owned the place, Disti DeCecco. Yeah. Anybody recognize anybody else? I'll tell you one thing. There's one guy, I would swear that's Butchie Gilinato, but it couldn't be him because but it looks just like him, doesn't it? The guy on the far right? If that doesn't look like,
Benny looked a lot like Butch.
I know it, yeah. You think that was Benny? I don't know. But Gigi Ranieri, yeah, he was something. Yeah.
I think Albert Magnuson's father's in that picture.
Oh, really?
He's got all the names, he's got a picture.
Oh, okay, good. I want to see that sometime. Yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, you're going to love this one. Unless you saw it on Facebook. Wait till you find out who this guy is. He was quite a guy. He owned a lot of land in Franklin. Yep. Let's put it this way. His son took over his business years later. And then his son took over an oil company. Harry Bullocken. That's Harry Bullocken Sr. Yep. He lived to be 96, 97 years old, but that's Harry Bullocken. Imagine that. What a dapper man, huh? Do we even have to ask? I mean, come on. But in 1962, the Mills brothers came to town. So she commandeered one of the elephants, and she showed up. God, I can imagine if she yelled roll over, the elephant would probably roll over. Yeah, oh yeah. Now, you might not know who this guy is. When I worked in the diner, he'd come in every day. His name was Alvin Moore, and apparently he worked for the railroad. But he had a nickname. They called him the Bear. Yeah, and he, hey, Bear, yeah. And growl. Nice guy, though. There were some characters that used to come in the diner, regulars. Oh, here's a guy that used to come in the diner. Probably can't really make him out with the way that is. Archie Howell. Archie Howell. He had the cutest laugh, like that. He comes in one day, he says, hey, Joe, you got a cigarette? I said, yeah, sure. So I give him one. He goes, you know, you're never going to get cancer from this cigarette. I said, oh, why? He starts crumbling it up and throw it in the ashtray. He's laughing. So every day he'd come in a diner. Joe, you got a cigarette? No. I'm on to you. No. There we go. We talked about that. It was right across the street from that Landry cycle. Joe Vendetti started there. Yeah. And that was built on the hill. So where that car is, you'd kind of go down the hill. Yeah. Right, yeah. And then when you were in the showroom and you wanted to go down to where the service area was, you could walk down this catwalk and then you go down these steps. And I remember my father's car was being worked on, so I was walking around the place and going up and down the catwalk and being a little kid, you know.
That's not the building that's there today.
Oh, no, that's long gone, yeah. Yeah, the lighting place there now, yeah. Yeah. Oh, look at this. I wonder who that is. Now, what's the relation? Your grandfather?
My grandfather.
Now, for the longest time, I thought, I wonder where that picture was taken. But you know something? I figured it out. 1928, the building behind is the Morse Theater. But you're probably saying, well, where's the marquee? Well, guess what? 1928 is when the Morse Theater block was being built. They hadn't gotten to the marquee yet, so there it is.
Kid is my father.
Yeah, but that's the Morse Theater.
What's that, 4th of July or something?
No, 1928 was celebrating the 175th birthday of Franklin, or 150th, do the arithmetic, whatever. It's a celebration for that, yeah. Ah, there we go, the Rome Restaurant block. Yeah. What was that famous watering hole? Nope.
No, Venice.
The Venice Cafe. Yeah. All right, we'll do one more. Oh, here's a good one. Okay, we're going to finish up with this one. Who owned that garage and where was it? This is in 1938. They had a fire here and they had to tear it down and rebuild it. It was on East Street. George Cody. That's right down the end. George Cody. Yeah. So there you go. So, well, you guys did well. Yep, okay. Yep. All right.
This program was made possible by your Franklin friends and neighbors, good folks just like you. Thanks for supporting Franklin TV. And thanks for watching.